Hey, good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of You Ought to Know Live, seen and heard live every Tuesday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We're here on the East Coast of the United States, taking care of a radio program of automotive experts. Easy for me to say. Automotive experts, friends of mine that are in the automotive industry, and we get a chance to talk every single Tuesday night and help you guys out, hopefully, with helpful hints on how you can save money and time on car repairs and detailing and everything to do with the automotive industry. My radio program every Saturday morning is called You Ought to Know, seen and heard live 7 a.m. to 12 noon on DaveSerio.com. My name is spelled DaveSerio, DaveSerio.com. And it's also heard on two stations in Baltimore, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. on the Q, 1370 a.m., and that also simulcast in Harford County, Maryland on 99.9 FM. And then 8 to 10 on the 50,000-watt powerhouse, AM 680 WCBM. And then 11 to 12 in Frederick, Maryland on Free Talk 930 WFMD. With me tonight, we have Mike Lambert from the Shine Shop, Jose Bueso, he is from Dynamic Automotive with 3 locations in the Frederick, Maryland area, and Dave Woodward from Jasper Engines and Transmissions. Now, Jose and Dave popped on the screen immediately exactly at the same time, so I've decided, since Dave's got a video for me, we're going to take Dave first. Hey, Mr. Dave, how you doing, buddy?
Doing great. See how I weaseled my way in there, Jose?
Came in exactly the same time. Usually the rules are whoever joins me first goes on first. So, Dave from Jasper Engines and Transmissions. How are you, Mr. Windward?
Doing great. Doing great.
Good.
Things are busy.
Well, that's a great thing. Lots of people needing engines and transmissions and differentials and stuff.
Lots of transmissions. I had some news on our transmission program. We've actually done a major expansion to our transmission program. There was a factory right across the street from Jasper, and you've been out there before, Dave, and it was actually Kimball Furniture. And Kimball is a huge international company that I believe started, I think, in Chicago, and then they moved this huge operation to Jasper. I'm going back to maybe the 40s, the 50s, and they produce, I believe, pianos out of Jasper, Indiana, and there was some German influence going on. I don't know too much about it, but the company also does a lot of electronics for a lot of major automobile manufacturers. They're networked all over the world, and I guess they maybe outgrew this factory or didn't have a need for it anymore, and it sat vacant for about 10 years. And we finally purchased this property, moved our transmission division to the property, and hired about 250 more people to produce transmissions. Yeah, and I believe our capacity now, at the beginning of the year, we were selling about 350 transmissions a day average for the first quarter of the year. I believe we'll have at least a 400-plus capacity a day just to produce transmissions. So it's really exciting, and it opened up a lot of area in our original factory for things like differentials. Our diesel division can grow now, and then we have the other big factory out in Crawford County that does a lot of other things. So yeah, we're very excited. The transmission business is just booming, and
very good.
There's less build.
Well, the good thing that happened to your business is the fact that transmissions have become so complicated that your average transmission rebuilder can't rebuild them anymore.
Yeah, and a lot of the guys that rebuild transmissions started, back in the 60s. There were only a few transmissions, and there are some very competent builders out there that can pretty much build everything, but they've been groomed over the years to learn the new processes, what everything's going on. But there's only a handful of them left. So to try to take someone to try to train them to build all these transmissions, what used to be you could do 10 transmissions, you had them all, and now it's about 300 transmissions. It's impossible. So a lot of these transmission shops are now moving to just doing remanufactured products, and it's opened a lot of opportunities for our company.
Well, and it's also opened up opportunities for shops like myself, because now I can compete easier with them.
Absolutely.
At one time, they used to undercut us. Jasper would be more expensive, and we would have to, we would be $800 higher than a guy who's going to rebuild it himself. But now they're our competition, and they've got the same costs that we have.
Yeah, and even the shops that still do some building, a lot of times they're offering a 12-month warranty, where we're offering a 3-year nationwide warranty. So, you still have and it's almost getting to the point where whoever can do the job the fastest, the quickest, if you can do it next day, within 2 days, that way the customer doesn't have to rent a car. They might, borrow a ride or carpool for a day or two, and then their transmission's done. Back a few years ago, maybe 10 years ago, a transmission repair or rebuild might have been a week-long job, and now it's a day or two, and that's what the customer now expects. They want it done now. It's not so much about price; it's about time.
And exactly. And the good thing is your company also is associate-owned. So the more you grow, 250 more employees, if they hang around for just a little bit, they become associates of the company, and they're part owners.
Yes, absolutely.
Very good. We'll be back with you in just a few moments, Mr. Dave. We're going to go back to Jose and then Mike, and then, if you don't mind, I'm going to have you show my video for me when we come back to you, okay?
Yep.
And I know you have a video, too? Do you have a video also, Dave?
I do, on some trans.
Okay, great. All right, very good. Let's go to Jose Bueso. Jose is the owner and partner of Dynamic Automotive, 3 locations to serve you in the Frederick area. Give us a little bit of information on where you're located and how long you've been hanging around, Mr. Jose.
Great. I'd love to, Dave. Good to be here tonight, too, by the way. I am at the Liberty Town location, and if you'd like to reach me, my phone number is 301-694-6250. I have a location in Newmarket. That phone number there is 301-694-5460. You'll talk to my partner, Lee Foreman, or Sarah, and they'll be happy to help you at that location. That's in Newmarket.
If you want the job to get done right, you talk with Sarah, correct?
Yes,
She's the boss.
Sarah is the boss, yeah. Oh, without a doubt. Lee went on vacation, and that place just zoomed forward with Sarah at the helm. Yeah.
Very good.
We have a
who runs that third location here? Who runs that third one?
Actually, my partner, Dwayne Myers, runs that location. Big Bobby Allen manages that location. Yep. And actually, he does a great job handling all the 3 departments over there. We have the general service department, we have the quick lube department, and then we have the car wash. And the quick lube also does detailing. So he's got to wear a lot of hats, and thankfully we've got a very good staff at that location. So they do very well. And if you want service there, their phone number is 301-874-8833, and you'll talk to Kevin or Jason at the front desk. But Big Bobby Allen is in charge.
And that's the Urbana location.
That's the Urbana location right off at Route 270.
I found that very interesting. We were talking a couple weeks ago about that area, and you were kind of like in the middle of nowhere when you built there. Right.
It was primarily farmland, and the Natelli Group, which was backed by Kiplinger, they started buying up properties over there and developing with actually a very nice format. They had good plans, the way they developed the area with quality homes and the roads that they put in there. I have to say it really flows very nicely. Aesthetically, it's beautiful. It is. And we were happy to adhere to their style, so we would fit in very well. Urbana truly has turned into a beautiful area to live.
It has. It looks like it really is. And, of course, I've been there a number of times. I'm looking forward to being there next month. What's happening next month at the Urbana location?
We're going to have the benefit car show. All proceeds will benefit Daybreak Adult Day Services. That is Sunday the 24th, and we're going to be happy to have you and Mike Lambert there, Dave Winward. I would love to have you there, too. It's a lot of fun. We'll have good food, a lot of neat cars, including yours, and it'll be a great day. It'll be a great day.
My Pantera made it out to the Frederick area. I was in Thurmont on Sunday, and it made it out there real fine. Everything went real well.
Now, are you driving the Pantera now?
Yeah, It went up to Rocky Ridge Volunteer Fire Department from my home, and then after that went to Westminster for another little car show gathering for their concert series. So it had a full day. Me, Jasper, and the Pantera.
Wow, that's great. I can't wait to see that car because I am a Pantera fan. I love those hot rods.
I think you'll like it, buddy. I think you'll like it.
Yeah.
It took first place at Rocky Ridge.
Did it really?
Yeah, special interest. I don't know how many cars were in special interest, but I would assume a pretty good amount of them, since that's kind of the generic. If it doesn't fit into a category, you got to put it there. And there were a pretty good amount of them, and it took first place. So I was very, very, very happy with that.
Do you have any pictures of it?
Yeah, I do. I'll email it to you.
What color is she now?
She's like a candy apple red.
Nice. Yeah,
Yep.
I bet that's a hot-looking car.
I think you'll like it. All right, well, you give us a second, Mr. Jose. We're going to get to Mr. Mike Lambert. He's got an announcement to make that I think you guys are going to all find out to be pretty interesting. Okay, Jose?
All right.
All right, Mike Lambert from the Shine Shop. I have been waiting to talk about this since you told me. I cannot believe this, okay? I really can't. If you guys can think of a car, okay, that maybe has been on the advertisement for the last maybe 6 months, maybe a year at the very most, but a car that you would think you would never be able to see in your lifetime or know of anybody that owns it other than a Jay Leno or somebody. Tell us what your buddy got. We're not going to give out a name or a location, but tell him what he bought.
Well, I was privileged today to work on a new 911 Turbo S, which is a very nice car. And then my client says, I want you to come see the new toy. So we went to where it was, and he has a 2014 Ferrari LaFerrari. The first one delivered in North America. Was ordered a year and a half ago, and he was tight-lipped about it from day one. And it's an interesting story because Ferrari's kind of an interesting company. They will not let you just buy a car whether you can afford it or not unless you've owned a previous model of a Ferrari. So no matter how much money you have, you cannot buy one of these LaFerraris unless you've owned a certain couple of models of Ferraris before. So they personally invited him to Italy for the unveiling, and he was like, I really don't have time to go, and they said, well, you won't get one. So if you were invited, you were expected to show up, and he unveiled the car. They asked him if he was interested, and he said yes, so he ordered the car. It came in 2 weeks ago. He was taken to Canada for the unveiling because it was the first one. He was escorted around the racetrack by the Ferrari test driver. He said we did 0 to 175 in less than 10 seconds.
Oh, my goodness.
And then he slammed the brakes on, and we stopped in less than 3 seconds. And he said, I almost got sick.
I can imagine.
He said it was just an incredible ride. Now, this is a plug-in hybrid.
Yes.
So it's 900 and some horsepower.
A total of 900, right?
Yes, and it's the electric motor enhances the petrol motor.
Right.
For power, not for economy. So,
now, I assume a picture is asking too much. Isn't that correct?
I'm sorry?
I said assume a picture of it is too much, asking too much.
Yes, as of this time, it's we're pretty tight-lipped about it.
Okay.
Because he's already, a lot of people know about the car, so he was a little taken aback by that. So
we would actually be concerned about putting a picture up on the web because there's a possibility that somebody could GPS it. And we don't want that to happen.
But
it is. And what color is it?
It's Ferrari red.
Of course.
And with the leather on the seats is a dark red, which does. I'm not much red on red, but it does match it very well.
Right.
And, the interior is almost entirely carbon fiber, and when you look in there, it's got all the creature comforts, but it's very minimalistic. Everything's real small. And it's all carbon fiber, and but he says it's other than getting in and out of it because it is the gull-wing car.
Right.
That it's really comfortable to drive. So I asked him. I said, how many miles are on it? He said, right now I got 800 miles on it. He said it was delivered with 75. When it was shipped back to the United States and the dealership test drove it. It had 100 on it when he got it, and the last 2 weeks he's put the rest of the miles on it.
Well, good for him.
Yeah.
That's what it should be doing. Very good. That's incredible.
I'm very, very excited to see it. We'll probably be working on it within a month.
Mm-hmm.
And, so
if you can squeeze them in.
Yeah. I think we might be able to.
Are you familiar with the LaFerrari, Jose?
Yes, I've got it up here. What a car!
Isn't that incredible?
Yeah, it really is.
It's a little less than $2 million. Little less than $2 million.
Yeah, depending on how you spec it out. So
yeah.
I guess there are options.
By the way, I'm going to make you guys really sick. This guy, over the last 2 months, has bought about $6 million worth of cars.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's got 4 of them that are all a little bit over $1 million that he's purchased, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Is that incredible?
Is this I don't mean to press or divulge his identity, but is this gentleman local to our area, Washington,
yes.
Baltimore area?
Yes.
I would say he's in the state of Maryland.
Yes.
Wow. I'm reading a little blurb here. Sammy Hagar, ex-lead vocalist of the American rock band Van Halen, has bought a LaFerrari.
Yes.
But he hasn't got it yet, because this guy got it first. And that's the neat thing, you know. And again, you're talking about a situation where you have to be an owner. Well, if you watch Sammy Hagar's video, I Can't Drive 55, that was actually his own Ferrari in the video.
Really?
And yeah, he did an interview after that, and he says, I'll give you a helpful hint in your lifetime. He goes, if you ever buy a Ferrari, do not ever volunteer it for a video. Because, boy, they beat up my car. Yes.
And I'm certain that Jay Leno will have one, too. So.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, those guys, they do it. But that's incredible. Well, thank you, Mike, for telling the story. We're looking forward to seeing that a picture when you can.
Yes, certainly.
Now, let's talk about a little bit about you. You own a detail shop, and I like to call you an extreme detailer. You do usually 1 car per day. That's your black Challenger behind you. And trust me, folks, you will not see a prettier, better-looking black paint job on a car than what Mike has done on his Challenger with the detailing and the Sequartz paint treatment on that. It is just beautiful. And a buddy of mine, okay, that we talked to about 6 months ago at the Hunt Valley Horsepower, decided to try out your services, your detail, and your Sequartz on his on his car, and now he sent you a total of 3 cars.
Yes, we did his 911 GT3 first, black metallic, and he was a tough sell. We talked to him for a long time. We don't really push the Sequartz, but he wanted all the information, so we gave it to him, and he decided to bring the Porsche, and then after the Porsche, he was real pleased with that, and I was too. I was very happy with the way that car turned out, and so we did his Mini Cooper Grand Prix edition, and then I just did his Audi A4 Avant. So he's been real happy.
A repeat satisfied customer is always good to have.
And a listener of yours too, so that makes it even better.
Yes. Well, you know, the ironic thing about it is I met him at a party at the house of the guy that used to own my 2003 Viper, a good friend of mine, John, and I purchased the Viper from him. After I'd already purchased, before that, I had purchased a 512 BBI Ferrari Boxer. And when the Viper became available, this was going to hurt a lot of people's feelings, but I decided to sell the Ferrari to get the Viper. Now, as far as money, probably not the best decision I ever made, because after I did that, I guess about a year later, the Ferrari almost doubled in price.
Oh, my.
Which the Viper has not done. But as enjoyment factor, I love the Viper. So, and this is the car I was talking about 2 weeks ago on the show about how Mike really changed the looks of that car completely. So it really is. I mean, your show last August was one of the first shows that went to Jose after he did the Sequartz treatment on it, and as you know, it won first place.
Yeah.
So it's amazing that you know, the difference that Sequartz and also the hard work that Mike Lambert puts into a car can make. That's for sure, Mike.
Well, I appreciate that. I was happy with the way it turned out. So we're always glad when you're happy. So.
All right. Your phone number that people can contact you at is?
410-833-1632. And as we always say, any questions are welcome. We don't need you to call just for an appointment. And the website's on the lower third there.
Right. TheShineShopAutoDetailing.com. All right, Mike, we'll be back with you in just a few moments.
Okay, sir.
All right. I'm Dave Serio from the radio program You Ought to Know, and I am blessed to own a 2013 Viper. And I was at Chrysler's at Carlisle about a week and a half ago. The first day, Friday, the show was there, and I was very fortunate. I think they only did this to about 20 or 30 cars at the very most. I've only seen about 15 of them actually make it to the video, to YouTube. But they interviewed me along with my car at the Chrysler's at Carlisle show. And Dave, you've been fortunate enough to be able to load that up on your system, and you can show that split screen. That'd be great to see that if you can.
Okay, yeah, and before I show that video, Dave, I really wanted, I'm spilling the beans. I'm spilling the beans about that LaFerrari. It's in my driveway, and I love it. It's a great car.
Dave, Dave, pinch yourself, buddy. You're really awake, okay? You're awake. You know what you got in your house? You got a torn apart Mustang. That's what you got, mister. Okay? A torn apart Mustang.
Okay. Speaking of torn apart Mustang,
yes.
It's in my father's garage. I'm not fortunate enough to have a garage right now, but it's in my father's garage. He announced retirement, and he's moving. So the car I have between now and December 31st to find a new home for a bunch of pieces. So I'm working on that now. So
okay, all right. I don't have any extra room for you, but I'd love to help you out. If I hear of anything, I'll let you know in Harford County.
Well, maybe it'll give me the little kick I need to start getting this thing back together. Maybe by next year I can hit some of these car shows. But
that'd be great.
All
right, let's try to do this screen share and see if it works.
Okay, let's see what we got.
Okay, this is me and Carlisle. No, that's the wrong one. That's transmissions.
Yeah, but we will play this one after yours, Dave.
Yes, sir. We will. No doubt about it.
Here we go.
Okay.
It's the Dodge Showcase stage here at Carlisle as we feature some of the most exciting and significant cars that we've been able to find here at the show. And this one is definitely a car that means a lot to the Mopar fan.
Woo, look at
when
that.
When Dodge took a few years off and stopped making Viper, there was a lot of talk as to how it would come back. And this is how that happened. This is a 2013 Viper GTS painted in an extremely rare striker red color. Let's find out a little bit more about that with our own Steve Bignante.
I'm here with Dave Serio, the owner of the car. Now, Dave, you bought this car, and when you were waiting for Viper to come back, what were your feelings?
I was looking forward to the introduction of the car, New York Auto Show. When I saw it in this color, that was it. Had to have it, and Clinton said, "Where can I order it?" And that was the hardest part, was waiting for the order. Found out that was in March of 2012. I ordered the car in January of 2013 and purchased it when it came into the Baltimore dealership August 11th.
I know the production of these cars was pretty low the first time out, 2013. What percentage of cars were done in this color?
Well, about 45 cars, but that's going to be it according to Chrysler. This paint is never going to be used on another Chrysler product. It is a 13-coat process, we've been told, and it starts off as orange, and they keep on adding the red color until they get to the striker red. They did one full lot of those cars. That's all she wrote. That's what they said.
So if you have a fender bender, matching that is not something that's kind of very easy to do.
No. I will be an SRT fan and be talking to all the folks at SRT if I have a fender bender.
What's the key thing that makes it different and better?
Refinement, the options, the power, the brute power. That's what you always lose with refinement. You get cars that are supercharged and they have a little bit of a lag. This has no lag. It's there, and it's brute power right from the get-go.
What kind of can you get out of this if you really drive a car?
I don't know.
Right answer!
That's why they sell darts.
Love it.
I can't argue with that, right? That's fantastic. That's great.
That was good.
Now, if you didn't hear what he asked me what kind of gas mileage I get on it. What kind of gas mileage do I get if I don't get in on it? Like if I don't really drive it hard. And I just went, I don't know, So that was a lot of fun. They edited it down. It was actually about a 4-minute interview. They did about 2 minutes. What they missed on that or what they cut out, I even talked to him a little bit more about the car and how it was refined as far as the interior and like that. And then he also asked me more about the gas mileage, and we had a little bit more fun to laugh about that. But I really was surprised they put it on the web. I really was.
Well, good.
I thought after that they were going to do it. All right, Dave. Thank you very much for showing that for me.
Oh no, that was funny. I mean, that was
good.
Yeah, that's why I really didn't think it was going to air. I thought, man, when they got that down there, that wouldn't be on the editing floor, you know. I thought for sure that was not going to make it at all. And then when YouTube, when I was searching YouTube just a couple days ago, and they just started putting them up, and mine was there, and I said, well, 2 minutes. I said, oh, they're going to edit out the stuff, but they kept what I said. It was funny. I liked it.
No, it turned out good.
You know me, I'm always a smart ass. What can I tell you? All right, so Dave, you've got a video to show us about the transmissions with Jasper, correct?
Oh, I absolutely do, and it's probably even more exciting than your video, Dave, because it's
Well, the actors at Jasper, they've got down. I mean, I can't compete with anything like that. These guys, you look up the word "dry" in the dictionary, and they've got a picture of the guys in Jasper engines and transmissions. I'm telling you.
Well, this is a good transmission dynamometer video that shows how we test our transmissions. And
he says that before every Jasper video. This is a good one.
Great, it's great. Love it. And that's one thing that sets us apart from a lot of our other competitors, per se,
right.
is we're very transparent. And I just sent some gentlemen out to our plant to tour the plant. And
right.
While they were there, some of our competition, we actually invite them to come to our plant. And we don't, we want to show everyone what we're doing and
right.
to show everyone the processes that we're using, because most of the time they're not doing that. And
well, Jasper Engines, if you go to jasperenGines.com, you could spend all day looking at the videos that are on that
absolutely.
website.
Yeah. And we've actually watched some of our competitors look underneath of some of our equipment, our testing equipment, and like they're scratching their heads. And we've actually one of the I'm not going to mention his name, but he works for a company called Sonex, and Sonex is a very large company that produces transmission updates, and they do all kinds of stuff. And he's actually told me face to face that some of our processes are the best he's ever seen anywhere. And this is a guy that's seen it all. So what I'd like to share is just a quick video on our transmission dynamometer testing, if I can say that.
Absolutely.
Let me see if I can pull this up. Your video is probably going to start first.
Welcome back to the Dodge.
There we go.
Yeah, all right. Oh,
Hey.
we can't watch that again? We can't watch that again? All right, okay.
Here we go.
Once the valve body has been assembled to the transmission and the completed assembly has passed pre-inspection, every Jasper automatic transmission is dynamometer tested. Thorough testing is done on one of 15 dynamometers at various temperatures and loads to simulate different road and driving conditions. Performance is measured at varying RPMs at full and closed throttle. Shift points and pressure readings are checked. Clutch and servo pressure is monitored. Transmission fluid flow is inspected. And if the transmission has a lockup converter, output shaft RPMs and the lockup pressure are checked. Each transmission receives a stall and a park test, as well as a thorough examination for noise and leaks. Each step of the testing is precisely recorded for reference. Dynamometer testing is one additional step Jasper takes to provide you and your customers with the perfect product.
That was very well done.
Yeah. And that was actually a 4L80 transmission, which is a very popular GM transmission. I mention this all the time. This is towing season. Silver 1500, 2500 series Silverado trucks towing campers that are probably, I don't know, 1/8 of a mile long.
Now what do you mean by popular GM transmission? Popular to the customers who own them, or popular to Jasper who remans them?
Well, it goes hand in hand. That's the truth. And I've when I'm driving around all day long, and I see a lot of certain vehicles that are broken down on the side of the road, and a lot of
you guess like I do what failed, right?
Yeah, and is it a bad product, or is it just the fact that there's so many of them out there? So it's kind of it goes hand in hand. So yeah,
you see a GM on the side of the road, you think transmission. Okay, you see a Ford on the side of the road, and you think, well, maybe the engine failed, right? Or you see a Chrysler and its engine and transmission together failing. You see a Toyota on the side of the road, and they're stopping over to make a cell phone call. You know,
or they just run out of gas.
Exactly.
Exactly.
No, just
But
kidding.
yeah, well, that's what I got for you, and I do have a quick contest. If I can.
Okay, sure.
Speaking of Toyota,
Uh-huh.
the last contest I had, and I will share the. Let me see. This is probably going to start again.
Yep.
Whoops.
Once the valve body has been assembled,
I know.
assembly.
I thought I had the. Oh, maybe I didn't. Well, anyway.
Okay.
Toyota emblem.
Yes. Oh, yeah. That was 2 weeks ago. Yes.
The question was, what year did Toyota?
Can I make a guess at that?
Sure.
I'm going to say 91.
Very close.
Okay.
What was the question?
The new Toyota emblem. The question was, what year did Toyota go to that emblem? Because before they just had Toyota spelled out, and then
Right.
they had back in the 30s, 40s, 50s, they had all kinds of weird stuff. But just the circle with the the symbol in the middle. What year did they start using that?
Okay, I'll guess 89.
And you're correct. You are
Very good.
absolutely correct.
Very good.
And, interesting enough, Toyota. That's the same year Toyota launched the Lexus division.
Oh, true. That's right. Now, see, I would have known 89 on that one. That
Yeah.
I knew the answer for Lexus. Yes.
The neat
89, and they didn't even have a model number on their car. It was just
Yeah.
Lexus. The LS400, which is their first car, but it didn't have any model number on it. It just said Lexus.
Lexus. And Toyota actually researched that for probably 10 years before they even released that model, and that model was not going to fail. They had every base covered to make that, what it is today. And I mean, it was just, what a great, what a great product line that they have. And it's just they tended to the higher clientele and did an incredible job. Everything was set in place before that thing was even, the trigger was pulled, and they knew it was going to work, and it worked.
You look at that situation in 1989, the LS400, and they've only had two other incarnations since then, the LS430 and the LS460. And still to this day, I believe the LS460 is the best quality car by far of anything else manufactured in the world. It may not meet everybody's standards of what they want in a car, okay? Because I've got a Viper, so I'm certainly not, comparing it to that as far as performance and everything. But as for overall quality and what it's supposed to do, the LS460 is the ultimate car. All right, so what do you have for us today's contest, mister?
This is my contest, and this is another Name That Tool.
Okay.
And, so this is a good one. This is a stumper. And what is that funny-looking thing? It's got a bunch of degrees on it. It's got if you look in the middle, that's probably a half-inch
Allen
drive.
Yep.
So,
all right.
you know what that is? JasperMan73@gmail.com. We got, I found another, I got a camo hat.
Another camo hat. All right. So if you want to go in Jasper style, but you don't want to be seen in public, then you want to have the camo hat, and you want to have the first correct answer to JasperMan73@gmail.com to what tool that is called. Very good. Well, thank you, mister.
Yep.
On a sad note, I do want to mention a Snap-on salesman that is our Snap-on guy for many, many years in Bel Air passed away today.
Oh,
he
no.
was fighting a very rare form of cancer.
Who was
name is Rick, and Rick passed away. So it's a sad note, but it's a guy that unfortunately knew that the time was coming. Unfortunately, he contracted this disease about 3 years ago, and fought it permanently. But it's a very rare disease. I'm not exactly sure what kind of. It is a blood disease like leukemia, but it's supposed to be rare. Like only hundreds of people in the world have had it, and unfortunately, from what I know, all of them were fatalities from this disease. That there is no cure, and he knew that ahead of time, and he put a good battle up, but unfortunately, he lost it. I believe this morning. So, Rick, our Snap-on man in the Harford County area. Our best condolences go out to his family, and very sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Not to drag everybody down, but there is reality in life that we celebrate a lot of things in in our lives, and there's a lot of horrible things that happen to people, and you never know. I mean, the guy, they don't know how he contracted it. All of a sudden, he had it, and away you go. So, Jose, we're back with you. Dynamic Automotive has 3 locations. We talked about the Urbana location. You also have the location in, help me out here, New Market and Liberty Town. Mm-hmm. And the Liberty Town is where you are.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's probably the oldest building, though, isn't it?
New Market is the oldest building. That was built in 1961, 1962, cinder block. It had an Art Deco design to it, sort of a flare. All those gas stations back then had that flare, so a lot of style, in my opinion. Those old 2-bay gas stations with the pumps in front of them. Of course, the pumps are gone now, and we have a large lot. But that's the oldest location. The location I'm in is about, let's see, it was built in 80, 88, 89, and I've been in here since 2001. It's a very comfortable building, well insulated. We've got air conditioning. It gets downright cold in here, and I'm not complaining.
No, you're not. See the gas and electric bill goes, wait a minute, maybe I am complaining. There you go. You guys are pipers, though. My building that I'm in Bel Air was built in 1939.
Wow.
One of the oldest buildings on Baltimore Pike, which is Business Route 1 going through Bel Air, because Bel Air does not seem to be conscious at all about history. They're tearing it down, building something up. So I think they're starting to now. But back then, there was a building across the street from me that in the 1953 Chamber of Commerce book stated that it was a landmark in 1953.
Oh, it was historic then.
Wow. Historic landmark in 1953. Torn down, 1969.
Oh.
Gone. Yep. So you never know.
Yeah.
So you've got the car show coming up on August 24th, and that's open to all brands and models, and that's on a Sunday.
That's on a Sunday. We'll be featuring the Golden Gears Car Club.
Okay.
Also, they'll be coming in.
Yeah, a lot of them were at the show at Rocky Ridge.
Right. Yeah. And I talked to the Corvette Club here in Frederick just last week, and I invited a bunch of them. They've got an event going on, but some of them will be able to come over and join us also.
Well, you better save some room for me.
There'll be plenty of room for you. There'll be a saved spot for you.
I'm trying to bring all 4 cars out.
All right. Well, I want to see that Pantera.
Okay. It's definitely going to be there.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Jose, pleasure. Well, go ahead.
Are you as busy as I am? Because we are crazy busy.
Actually, it slowed down a little bit for us over the last 6 business days. But we're still doing well. But it did slow down for us just a little bit. Bel Air is not like any other place in the world. The whole town slows down at the same time. It is unbelievable. I've never been in an area like that. When I was in Randallstown, we were consistently busy all the time, and once in a while we'd get rushed, but consistently busy. Bel Air, there are days when you could hear crickets. Phones don't ring, nothing happens. And then the next day you're swamped. And everybody seems to be exactly the same way, so it's very bizarre. Dave, I think, can attest to that a little bit. You see that at shops, correct, Dave?
Yeah, I mean, that's all I know. Maybe the area I'm working in.
Yep, that's exactly right. Well, Jose, great having you tonight. Thank you so much for being with us. And give out your phone number one more time and the location that you're at.
Sure. I'm at the Liberty Town location, and you can reach me at 301-694-6250. Call me anytime. We'll answer all your questions, and we'll fix your car.
Great. And one other thing, if you mention the name of my radio program, You Ought to Know, or my name, Dave Serio, when you go into Dynamic Automotive, they'll give you 10% off the bill, parts and labor. So if your service bill comes to $695, $69 comes right off the top. So
That's correct.
That'd be great. So mention that when you at any one of the 3 locations: Urbana, New Market, or Liberty Town.
As a matter of fact, I had a customer do just that. Called me up a day before yesterday, and now we have his Acura in here.
Oh, good.
And, yeah, he mentioned the Dave Serio show, and we're happy to have him in here, and he will be getting that 10% discount.
Fantastic. That's great. Well, glad that's working out for you, Jose.
Thank you.
Thank you. Back to Mike Lambert from the Shine Shop. Dropped the bomb on the old La Ferrari, and that's going to be exciting to see. First time. When do you think he's going to have it out at the Hunt Valley Horsepower?
I think it's going to be a little while.
Okay.
Once the Christmas morning feeling wears off,
Yeah.
I think it'll be out. I would say for the next special event, I would think his friend will talk him into it.
Good. 700 miles he's already put on it since he got it. That's incredible.
And
I would have
it's
never thought
really
they would
nice.
do that.
You've met the man, and you know how nice he is. But
Oh,
I
yeah.
asked him, I said, was it like Christmas morning when the truck pulled up? He says, absolutely.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Not much better feeling than that, you know?
No, not at all.
Not on the same scale, but I remember when they called me from the dealership that my Viper had come in. That
Yep.
was 7 months after I ordered it. And I'm telling you, going there, it's a weird feeling, but it is unbelievably special. It really is.
I love it.
Yes, sir.
And I have to say something to Jose.
Okay.
I hear this radio commercial for a credit union all the time, and the young lady buys a new car, and she wants to keep it just perfect as usual, and she takes it to her favorite car wash, and she says, "Here comes the rainbow foam. I love the rainbow foam." And every time I hear that, I think about your car wash.
Jose, yeah, we didn't talk about your car wash, but tell us all the new features your car wash has.
Oh, well, I was over there today, and what a beautiful arch we have going in. The light displays, I mean, it's incredible. When you'll enter in the light show that's going to occur now. We're in the constructing phase now, so it's all being put together, and it's quite a task, but it's going to be beautiful.
It's the answer when the kids who are 3 years old that don't know any better say, Mommy, I want to go to Disney World. And you take them over to the Urbana car wash at Dynamic Automotive.
Exactly. I'm taking my grandkids.
There you go. It's cheaper. It really is. That's great. Well, thank you, Jose. And thank you, Mike. We appreciate it. 410-833-1632. And, of course, for Dave Winward, you can always visit JasperEngines.com or give him a call at 1-800
827 55.
You got it. Sorry about that. Give out that number one more time complete.
It's 1-800-827-7455.
You know, I say that live almost every single Saturday morning, and it just slipped my mind there for a second. But I'd rather have it slip my mind here than on the air in the radio show, that's for sure. Thank you, David.
No problem. Thank you.
All right, I'm Dave Serio, host of the radio program You Ought to Know. Join me this Saturday morning, 7 a.m., if you can get up early, 7 a.m. on Saturday morning at daveserio.com, live video and audio streaming. And, of course, all the information about the show is right on the homepage and other ways that you can watch and listen or just listen to the show. Everything's on the homepage of daveserio.com. We're part of the Hangout10.com network here. This is You Ought to Know Live, heard live every Tuesday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. If you're watching this on archive, we'd love to have you join us next Tuesday evening, 7 p.m. On behalf of Michael Lambert from the Shine Shop in Reisterstown, Maryland, Jose Bueso from Dynamic Automotive, 3 locations to serve you in the Frederick area, Urbana, Liberty Town, and also New Market, Maryland, and Dave Winward from Jasper Engines and Transmissions, I'm Dave Serio from You Ought to Know and Vehicle Service Plus in Bel Air saying, have yourself a good night. We'll talk to you again next Tuesday.